Hey, what's up guys? I'm doing a deck profile for you guys over B.E.S. Now, this will be the deck that I will be taking the regionals, and I have quite a few reasons behind it. So I will go through that as I go through the deck profile. So, 3 B.E.S MK3. It has a Cyber Dragon effect where if your opponent controls monster and you don't, you special it. And then all the B.E.S monsters have an effect where if they're attacked or if you attack with them, they lose one counter. So it's really quite helpful in a bunch of different situations to keep your monsters alive. So yeah. And then its last effect is that if this card's in your grave, you shuffle it or you banish it, and then you shuffle all B.E.S monsters from your graveyard into your deck. So it helps recycle your resources, which is really kind of nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't shuffle back the spell, but, you know. And then 3 B.E.S Big Core MK2. Now, he has the same effect with the counters, but his only additional effect is if you don't control any monsters, you can no-summon it without trading, which is really quite useful in some situations. So yeah. And then 3 B.E.S Tetran. This card's actually really quite useful. You remove one counter from this card to destroy a spell trap. So let's say you have 2 on the board. One has 1 counter, one has 3. You can remove 2 counters, 1 from each, to destroy 2 spells or traps. So it's really quite cool. Although, I think you only use the 1 Tetran per turn, which kind of just cancel out what I just said there, but still a very good card to help get rid of back row. So yeah. And then 2 Crystal Core. He's not as useful as what he used to be, but he's still a good card, and at least a 2 of it's a perfect number in my opinion. So basically, once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, and then switch that target to defense or attack. So it's really useful in different situations. So yeah. And then 1 Cover Core. If he attacks or if he's attacked, his how he loses his counter is different than the other ones. So if you attack with him, you have to flip a coin. If you call it right, then the counter stays. If you call it wrong, then the counter goes away. So yeah. And then B.E.S Big Core. Nothing special about him. Just when he's no summon, he gets 3 counters. So yeah. So that's basically it for the B.E.S monsters. Now for the reason why I'm taking this to regionals. So there's actually a guy at Sci-Fi last night, a Yu-Gi-Oh player, and he was at the sneak peek that I went to. And so a friend hands me a 10, I go through it, I find a couple things, and he just gave them to me for free. And so I started looking over the cards, and they're actually really useful in this deck that I never even thought of. And so the guy that gave me more copies of the card, his brother actually runs this the engine I'm about to show you guys in his build. So yeah. And that engine is Symphonic Warriors. Now I'm sure you guys are probably thinking like, how is this good in B.E.S? Well, it's actually the next card I'm about to show you. So basically what you do is that you set this in your scale, you discard 1 card, which makes this the perfect target because you can banish it and then shuffle back your resources. And then you shuffle or you special 1 Symphonic warrior for your deck, which you go for Mike's. And so what he does is that when he's summoned or something like that, you get additional normal summon. So let's say you normal summon this, and then you get additional normal summon if you have that, and then let's say you tribute the Mikes for a Tetran, then you have at least, you know, a pretty decent board. So yeah, so it's just really cool how Symphonic Force actually helped this deck out a lot, because before I actually added these in here, I dead drew some monsters, and then the next card was the field spell. The field spell. And so that made me rethink my strategy, and then when I threw these in here, it opened up my play so much more, because my some of my monsters are dead in hand unless I have something to tribute or the field spell. Playing this in here, like I said, just opened up so many more plays that are actually playable in my hand, so it's really quite good in this deck. So that's why I'm taking it to Reasonable, because of that, and plus, you know, it's just a powerhouse. So yeah. So 3 Zalos. It gives your B.E.S monsters protection from being targeted or destroyed by card effects. They get a fire and attack boost, and you get to search out for a boss rush, which is also another busted card. So yeah, the field spell just does so much for B.E.S. It lets you special them for your hand, the B.E.S monsters for your hand. It just does so much, and it really helps out the deck a lot. So 3 boss rush. For anybody that doesn't know, this card is really dumb. So during the end phase, if a B.E.S monster is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you special a B.E.S from your deck. And so you have 2 on the field, you can special out 2. If you have 3, you get to bring out 3. It's just really dumb. So yeah, it swarms the board and puts the pressure on your opponent to, you know, make a good play, or they're basically dead. So yeah, 3 MST. Just help get Rebecca. Same thing with this Hatronade. So yeah. And then number control, which is obvious, and then Monster Warden. So yeah, I'll be showing you guys a couple cool different plays that you can do with the deck at the end of this video. So yeah, now for the traps. 3 Dark Bribe, 2 Metaverse. This was actually really good at 2. I really liked it, and so yeah. 2 Torrential Tribute, 1 Judgment, and 1 Soul Warning. Now I'm sure you guys are probably thinking, like, why do I run Torrential Tribute? Well, boss rush, you get your effect during the end phase to bring out more monsters. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to torrential your board if you don't have to, but if you have to, then you do it, and then you get the effect off if you have boss rush face up. So yeah. So I'm quickly going to go through my sideboard, which is the same for all my newest deck profiles that you guys have seen. So D Crows, Junk, Kribo, Clear Kribo, Lancios, Jinzo, Spear Mode, Book of Eclipse, and then Super Ancient Organism. So, but yeah, that's basically my sideboard. It's self-explanatory. The Kribos and Lancios are for against Trickstars, Jinzo for Counter Fairy, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So I'm setting up a hand to show you guys what you can do with the deck. it's like I said, it's really quite cool what you can do with the deck. So, like I said, I'm setting up a cool little thing for you guys right now. So, so let me expand this out a little bit so that way you guys can see. Let me tilt this up just a little bit. There we go. And to show you guys a combo. So, basically you want to activate Xalos first to search out for Boss Rush. If your opponent has Ash or anything, you know, it is what it is. But you search out for Boss Rush, and then, well, actually, way before you do that, you activate Hatronade to return everything, so your opponent can't stop your plays. At least with spells and traps. So you activate that first, and then you do Xalos, Boss Rush. You want to keep this in your hand for now, because you want to null summon Big Core MK2, and then place Guitar in your Pendulum Zone. Activate effect. You want to discard this and bring out your Symphonic Warrior. Mics. And so you have, if you're going second and you draw into another B.E.S, the one that you really want to have in your hand is Tribute, which would go to your Pendulum Zone or your extra Monster Zone. You really want to bring out this guy, the Tetran. Just because he'll help get rid of back row, stuff like that, if your opponent still has face up cards in your, or in their spell and trap zone. So, yeah. And then, last thing that you want to do is activate Monster Reborn. Target that, special it, and then, I mean, you've cleared out their whole face downs. You have 3 powerful monsters on the board. 1 being able to pop spells and traps, not being able to be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and you have a way to bring out this guy again. So it's really cool, and I really like how the Symphonics really add more versatility to the deck with unbreaking your hand. So yeah, it's just really quite cool what, like I said, Symphonic Warriors do for the deck. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't you like, comment, and subscribe for more. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next video, which will be a Dynamis duel. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll catch you later. There you go.